Kung in relation pa rin ito sa kapihan, no, yung aking tanong, kasi sabi ng yung sitio kapihan was declared, ang gagaling nung RD ng yung red ng Mindanao dati, ito si Yusik Pragada, bigay na bigay kagad dito ng kahoy doon para magawa yung aming mga detachment, mga opisina. Bilis. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Siguro, Secretary, baka maganda may MOA na kayo with PNP para pag may confiscated lang.
Barkada yan din.
Recognize the presence of Senator Robin Padilla. Thank you.
As a Bukas Grande flagship tourism enterprise zone by the TIZA or Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority. Ngayon, during the hearing, nabanggit ng mga taga SBSI na meron daw silang pending na application for agreement. I don't know what kind of agreement is that. Baka tenural agreement na naman yan with TISA. So just in case ma-approve ito, ang tanong ko lang is anong magiging mechanics ng regulation ng area? Will it be DNR over TISA or TISA over DNR? I am asking this question dahil nga nakikita ko in the future, baka mamaya hantong tayo sa punto ng DNR revoke yung agreement, yung kanilang pakbarma with the SBSI, then hantong tayo sa relocation ng mga occupants doon at they will refuse to vacate the place by virtue of their agreement with the TISA. Baka ngayon baka nakikita nila ito, baka maribok ng DNR yung ating pakbarma, meron tayong panghawak na another instrument to stay here in this place via TISA. So yun lang tanong ko, ma'am, kung ma-approve ito ng TISA, what would be the ano magiging sitwasyon? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Your Honor. The DNR po is a member of the TIESA board. Ang binibigay po ng TIESA ay grants lamang po, hindi tenurial instruments. Opo. So, I think that we would have the authority to actually act on our own possible suspension and cancellation na hindi po masagabal yung authority ng DNR.
Thank you, ma'am. So for the record, it remains with DNR. Whatever happens sa kanilang application sa TISA, kayo pa rin.
Yes, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pero Secretary, since I'm the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Tourism, actually sa TISA, I think it's more of the granting of the incentives that the siguro community can get.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next question is tungkol doon sa yung budget ninyo na allocation na 145 million para sa clean air. Recently we were disturbed by news that the air quality of Metro Manila was very poor due to smog. Some local government units even had to call off classes because it was going to be very hazardous to our health to go out of our houses. So, tanong ko lang, paano natin magamit yung 145 million para paglinis ng ating kahanginan? Ano gawin yun, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Your Honor. Ang paggamit po ng 145 is really for us to maintain the monitoring of the air quality po dito sa mga airsheds na in-identify ng DNR historically.
So meaning, ma'am, hanggang monitoring lang, wala itong intervention, action para malinis yung kahanginan for monitoring purposes lang?
Ang intervention po na nasa authority po ng DNR is really to actually monitor also the contributors to the air quality. And I'll turn over to you, Sec Mitch po, kasi may iba-ibang contributors dito sa air quality natin. And minomonitor po yan, and there are notices of violation kung meron pong nagko-contribute dito sa air pollution. So I will turn over po to Yusek Mitch Cuna po, supervising for environment.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Your Honor, meron po tayong three main sources po of air pollution. Yung una po, stationary sources kung tawagin. So these are the establishments that have emissions, mga factory. Yun po ang nasa jurisdiction namin. We monitor that, yung mga stock nila, yung emissions nila na within the standards dapat. In fact, yung mga cement plants saka yung power plants, halos lahat, kung hindi lahat, naka-connect po sa amin, may continuous emission monitoring system. So real-time nakikita po sa data center sa EMB kung ano po ang readings nila ng iba-ibang parameters. So ang second source po, yung area sources. So ito po yung mga, yung general, yung mga construction sites, unpaved roads, pati yung mga nagsisiga po sa kalye at pati nag-iihaw dahil merong emissions din po. So these are called area sources. Jurisdiction po nito yung local government units. Sila dapat mag-monitor nito. And then the third, which is the largest source of air pollution, yung mobile sources po. Ito po yung mga sasakyan natin. So in the highly urbanized areas, napakataas po. Like here in Metro Manila, mga 70 to 80% ang source ng air pollution natin, yung mga sasakyan po. So this is under the Land Transportation Office po, under the DOTR.
No, it's a turn of Senator De La Rosa, Madam Chair, but since you're at in Clean Air, yes, as one of the authors, yes, in my first term Clean Air Act, but you have your time. I would like to know whether we have air monitoring stations in Metro Manila and urbanized cities. How many, and are they all working? And how can we access them online, if any? Is there a phone app? Is there an online app? Just short, because I would ask my questions after Senator De La Rosa. Thank you, with the permission.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Your Honor. I'll turn over to ASEC Gilbert Gonzalez, the OIC Director of EMB, for the inventory. Yes, inventory of our air quality.
Pili lang po, kasi may mga tanong pa ako after Senator De La Rosa. Ilan po ang air quality monitoring stations sa Metro Manila na muna? Ilan po ang umaandar? At paano po minomonitor ng DNR at ng publiko at ng LGU yung air quality? Yes, connected to it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, pa. Actually, for NCR, we have 30 air quality monitoring stations. There are two that are 99% completed already, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Sana bigyan nyo ng priority talaga ito dahil alam mo, it compounded the problem, lalong-lalo na sa extremism. Pag ginagamit na issue kasi yan ng mga extremist advocates doon na tingnan nyo, nakailang hearing na kayo dyan. Sana yung tubig ninyo, wala pa rin. So, yun, yung alam mo tao, magre-rebuild yung mga tao dahil kulang ng pagtingin, kulang na pag-alaga ng gobyerno. And alam mo, tayo pa rin ang mabiblame talaga niyan kasi ilang years na. Tapos nakailang hearing na tayo, wala pa rin tubig sila doon. Please lang, ako nakikiusap sa inyo, Administrator, Attorney.
Yes, Your Honor. We are giving the topmost priority. The agency is giving topmost priority for these projects to be completed, Your Honor.
We cannot afford to have another Marawi Siege Part 2 using the water supply of Marawi as the main reason. Wag sana magkaganon. Tingnan lang natin, Administrator.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pati si Senator Robin Padilla, kaya yung dumating dito talagang gusto niya i-post talaga. Tutukan natin.
Yes.
Salamat, sir. Salamat.
Thank you.
Salamat, Madam Chair. And with that, I would like to, ako lang, may question pa si Ma'am Loren, pero I would like to hold in abeyance, may motion for the approval of the budget of the DNR. Inunahan na kita, Madam Chair.
I-recognize
Thank you, Madam
Senator
Chair.
Lauren Legarde.
Yes. When we ask questions, it does not mean that we are blocking the budget. In fact, we ask questions so that we can be enlightened to improve the budget. and to improve the effective implementation of laws. Thank you, Madam Chair. So, first, mangroves. Are mangroves still part of the NGP, mangroves planting? And my question is, I'll go straight to the point. Does the DNR provide training to staff? Because you don't implement the mangrove planting, it's outsourced, right, to suppliers, to staff, to the local communities on the science of planting mangroves, specifically emphasizing the proper zonation and site species matching to avoid malpractice and ensure the suitability of species for different sites. And I will refer to the Yolanda stricken areas way back in 2015 when there was rehabilitation that resulted in the wastage of funds because wrong mangrove species were planted. And there have been sightings also in my home province of Antique of dugong. You know, these are endangered sea mammals. They feed on seagrass. So ignoring the suitability of species matching and replanting in areas which are not appropriate, like seagrass, anumang